If you've ever been told to just relax and you'll get pregnant, then this video is for you. Stress does impact fertility, just like it affects other areas of your health, but it's not the whole story. Let's talk about what stress does to your hormones, to ovulation, and to your fertility. I want to assure you that infertility is not your fault and it doesn't just come down to stress. Stress is just one piece of the puzzle, and I'm going to talk about how it can influence hormones and other biological function. Your body's main stress hormone is cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. This is a hormone released by the adrenal gland. When it's elevated, it can disrupt normal ovulatory function. So when your body's under stress, it can disrupt other functions, and reproduction is fairly low on this totem pole. So when you're under a lot of stress, sometimes your hormones can get disrupted. The brain and the ovary communicate with one another, and if that disruption happens between the brain and the ovary, you might have ovulatory problems. You might have irregular cycles. Even if you're ovulating, you may have disruption to your ovulation, or you could have changes to implantation as a result of potentially not having enough hormones around. But the brain obviously is very important in this, since it's releasing a lot of the hormones that influence the ovarian function. So any kind of stress can not only increase cortisol levels, but it can disrupt the communication between the brain and the ovary as well. An important aspect that people don't think about when it comes to stress is how you manage stress. And so that's really an important part of why stress can be such a poor health indicator. People who are stressed and don't find healthy ways of managing it might overeat or eat poorly. They may drink too much. They may have too much caffeine. These are things that can influence your overall health. And so finding healthy ways of managing your stress is really important. In effect, finding healthy ways of managing your stress is really important to improving your fertility health as well as your overall health. That can benefit your egg health and sperm health, as well as implantation, and reduce your risk for poorer outcomes during pregnancy. So just to reassure you that stress is not the whole story, we see plenty of people getting pregnant during very stressful times. So stress primarily impacts fertility by disrupting ovulation and timing. That's the more direct way that stress can have an impact, and that usually can be reflected by your symptoms of irregular cycles or shorter luteal phase. So we can pick that up clinically, and if you have those notable changes to your menstrual cycles, that's something you should bring to our attention. So what actually helps? What doesn't help is telling someone to just relax. We know that that's not the cure for infertility, but finding healthy ways of reducing your stress is really important. So eating as clean as you can without stressing out too much. And then reducing alcohol is very important, as is avoiding and eliminating any kind of nicotine or marijuana products. You also want to find a healthy way to exercise that's not too high impact or high intensity. Additionally, mind-body treatments like acupuncture, meditation, sound bath, that's something that can be very helpful for some people. Anything that lowers your stress levels is definitely going to be good for overall health as well as for your fertility. As I mentioned before, stress may disrupt your menstrual cycles. So if you are noticing irregular cycles, or if you're noticing a shortened luteal phase, these are things that we want to test for with hormone levels. So when you bring this to the attention of your doctor, we might check for things like PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. We might check your fertility hormones such as FSH and estradiol. We also might check progesterone to confirm ovulation, as well as thyroid and prolactin, which can disrupt ovulation. If you're trying to conceive and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone. We can do some testing hormonally to make sure that there's nothing we can optimize to help improve your chances of success. If you're ready to start your fertility journey, book a consultation. And if you just want more education, feel free to subscribe.